Hello, Virgo. This is going to be your general tarot reading for May 2021. I apologize for these coming out so late. Been incredibly busy as always. And I'm going to make a concentrated effort to make sure that next month's comes out on time. I'm going to start early this month on them. So this reading is for you if you are a Virgo rising, a Virgo sun, a Virgo moon, or a Virgo Venus. And as always, this reading may or may not resonate for you. Certain parts of the reading may resonate with you strongly, other parts may not at all. If for some reason it does not resonate this month, you may want to check out your other placements readings and see if those resonate for you more. And if you would like to skip through this part and just go straight to the beginning of the reading, there is a timestamp down below in the description box that you can click on. It will take you straight to the beginning of the reading. And we'll just see what comes out for you Virgo people for May. Okay, Virgo, May 2021. This month I'm using the Spiral Tarot for your main cards, and then for your clarifiers I'm going to be using the Edmund Duloc Tarot. Edmund Duloc was a famous illustrator of fairy tales and legends, I believe, from the early 1900s. So it should be interesting. All right, here we go. 11 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Nice so far. Wow, look at that. This is a nice reading. All right. Pardon me, I have to hang on. Okay. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I think I found the sweet spot for the microphone to be where it doesn't pick up on my breathing as much and you can still hear me. Okay, before I begin, I'm just going to pick a clarifier to go with your main card so I can get a little bit more specific information on it. I'm going to shuffle it one last time. All right. Tell me more. Okay. Looks great, you guys. Okay. Your central experience for May 2021 is the Queen of Pentacles. It looks like you're taking it easy to me. It looks like you've gotten into a nice groove with things. You're going at a nice pace in your life right now. You might be focusing on goals, money, your talents, manifestation of what you would like to manifest. You may have gotten to a place where you feel pretty stable and calm and expecting good things to come, which is amazing. If you have put a lot of your energy into manifesting something, it looks like you've manifested it. And this can also be a person. So with it, you have the Knight of Cups. Could it be that you are starting to get to know someone, or you have met someone that you have strong feelings for that potentially could be a Capricorn or another earth sign, or this could simply be you. But you're choosing to follow your heart. You're choosing to go towards what makes you happy. You're choosing to go explore your dreams, possibly romance, adventure, travel, discovering what makes you happy, what makes you feel fulfilled, and going out after it. And with these two, you have Major Arcana, the Star. So it looks as though you have a lot of optimism, you have a lot of hope, you have a lot of positive energy surrounding you at this time. You may be slowly seeing a wish of yours come true, or a wish have the very strong potential of actually being able to be actualized or brought into physical reality. You may be choosing to do what you love for money, or take your talent or what you enjoy and turn it into a business or a career, or to be able to actually use your innate skills and abilities that you enjoy and to bring that potential into a job situation where you will be recognized for your abilities and possibly even promoted, or be given more responsibilities or more ability to do what you want or to do what you enjoy. You might see more prosperity coming in at this time, which gives you a lot of hope for the future. And you may even be able to have enough money at this time to go on a vacation, or to go on a trip, or to go explore. Or enough money to be able to explore a relationship instead of feeling like you have to run around all the time to acquire what you need. Now you can kind of sit back and relax a little bit and enjoy other things. You may have started a new hobby, a new interest. You might be getting to know someone, or spending time with someone that you really enjoy the company of, even if it's a friendship or a family person in your family. You're celebrating some kind of a positive outcome to something that you've put a lot of your energy into. And if you have had any health concerns in the past, it looks as though your health is dramatically improving. And things like drinking water, more water, relaxing, taking it easy, taking care of yourself is having direct results on your health, where you notice any issues that you may have been facing are improving and getting better based off of self-care and taking it easy when you need to. And just by staying positive as well, or focusing on staying positive. You might choose to go after some kind of a job opportunity. If you go to a job interview for what would seem to you to be a wish come true, it looks as though you received the position that you want. Or you may be going to a beautiful place for some R&R, rest and relaxation, or some TLC. Okay. Your challenge is the Princess of Swords. There could be some miscommunications this month. If you do receive miscommunications, or if there are things going on like differences of opinion, arguments because of that, missed connections, like sending a message out, waiting for a response back, the response gets delayed. By the time you do get the response, you've already started in a completely new direction from them. This could be miscommunications where someone is trying to tell you something but you misinterpret what they say, or vice versa. This could be arguments with a child too, or problems with a child where the communication is a little bit skewed. Let's see, I'm going to get more information about that. This could possibly be delays with travel or delays with getting information that you need. Be careful of miscommunication. Make sure that if someone is telling you something, that you repeat what you think they're saying out loud, so that if it's not what they're saying, so that they can correct it for you, and possibly try different wording out. Sometimes the interpretation from what someone is thinking to what they actually say, they think that they're making sense, or you might think that the person can make sense of what you're saying, but they may completely misunderstand it, or the words come out wrong, or it's not quite exactly what you were thinking. So let's see. Or misconnections, like if you're traveling, you might miss a connection that kind of delays things or complicates the trip a little bit. Let's see. Or you get the wrong information about something only to find out that it's not the right information. Let's see. Wait before you speak. Think before you speak. I'm getting something about words coming out wrong, or not the way that you intended to be heard by someone, or vice versa. Take your time getting to know someone. Here you have the Seven of Pentacles. And also you may be feeling impatient, like you need to hurry with something, or you need to get information right now. And for whatever reasons, you may have to wait or be patient through some kind of a process. You may be having some kind of communication be delayed, where you have to wait for the communication to come. Try not to let your worries or anxieties or misperceptions get in the way of how you communicate. In other words, if I put that in a more practical way, let's say I lost it. Or you're having to wait to see a child or to have communication from a child. Yeah, don't let your anxiety get the better of you. If you don't hear from someone, it doesn't mean that something bad has happened. And it doesn't mean that they don't care or don't want to reach out. It just may be that they're busy or something's going on with them. So try not to panic or try not to react this month to anything. Take your time in reacting to situations. If someone says something to you that hurts you, or you're confused on what they said, instead of speaking back immediately, think about it for a little bit and then approach it in more of a gentle way to see if maybe you misheard them or misunderstood them. If you haven't heard from a child in a while, they're okay. They're just possibly busy, or they've got things going on. Let's see. Or you're waiting to hear good news on something. Or you need to think and reflect first before you come up with solutions to problems. There might be solutions to something that for now you're not really seeing. And so you need to take it easy and rest for a bit in order for the right idea to come to you, or the right method or the right understanding of something to come to you. Try not to take anything that anyone says at complete face value at this time. If there is more information that's needed, it will come, even if it is slightly delayed. Or this could be missed opportunities with plane connections or planes plane rides or traveling by air or having to wait a little bit longer before you can really go someplace to go see someone. Okay, so what is helping you is strength. You're very strong this month. You're very strong in who you are, your boundaries, what you will or will not experience. Also in being gentle with your boundaries with other people. Not to come off too strong, but not to come off as too gentle either. Just to find that nice, happy medium. Things like believing in your abilities. Believing in your own strength, believing in your ability to persevere with some kind of situation that you are working on manifesting. This could also be a Leo or a fire sign that's around you. Let me get a little bit more information about that. Tell me more about strength as what's helping them. You might need to use your boundaries with someone or something or a situation more. Or help educate a young person on how to use their boundaries. Let's see. The Seven of Swords. Being strong in how you let other people's energy affect you. I'm getting, for some reason, you might have somebody in your environment or somebody in your life right now that doesn't respect other people's boundaries that well, or potentially tries to steal people's energy away. This is the Seven of Swords. This can be a situation where someone doesn't respect other people's boundaries and just runs right all over people's boundaries. This could be energy vampires that try to steal your money, time, energy, emotional energy. You may have some elements surrounding you at this time where there may be some energetic vampires around you that don't take no for an answer. And so what is helping you is to be very strong about your boundaries. Any energy that you know is not healthy, not to allow that energy in. And also, if you have to deal with miscommunication or with misunderstandings here, don't let anyone else's demonization of you or your opinions or how you live your life get to you on your own self-esteem. If someone is acting difficult around you, don't take it on as it's somehow your responsibility or somehow because of you. And someone may need somebody to call them out. You may have to call someone out this month in a gentle but firm way on what they are actually doing. In here, somebody here, if you are a parent and you have children, you may have a child that's experimenting with lying, which is normal. All children do that at some point, sometimes for shorter amounts of time, other times for longer amounts of time. It may be that someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, namely a young person in the family, or is experimenting with lying or dishonesty. And it's important for you to not be too harsh with them or make them feel bad about themselves. Instead, empower them to know that to know how to treat others and to treat themselves, and that you empower them to be truthful. Maybe there's something going on here where someone is lying because if they told you the truth, they would be afraid that you would be angry, or that you would blame them, or that you would try to shame them or make them feel bad about themselves. And so they might be lying out of self-preservation because they just don't want to deal with drama. For somebody watching, you may want to work on how to handle these situations where you're still addressing the problem and still educating them and still letting them know what your boundaries are, but you're not doing it in too of a strong way, you need to figure out the proper way to do this where they will no longer be tempted to lie because they won't feel as though they're going to be punished if they actually tell the truth. And this also goes with teaching too, if there are any teachers watching. Something about how you've been disciplining situations hasn't been working. And what's helping you is to figure out the proper way to handle these situations where you don't encounter backlash, or where someone feels as though they are safe with you, or they can trust you to stay calm if they tell you the truth. This could also be you. If you have been holding on to how you feel or how you think because you just don't want drama, if you were truthful, if you said exactly how you feel or how you think or what you're choosing to do with yourself, it may be that you're avoiding situations where you have to use your boundaries because you just don't feel like dealing with drama. But as a result, this may have gotten to a point where now you're having to walk away or run away from multiple situations, when really you could vanquish that beast if you just opened up and stated what is going on with you or what your boundaries are. It's like you're afraid that someone is going to judge you or punish you or slander you even if you actually showed all of yourself. But what's helping you is to stand up to whatever this is in a good way, and to be firm about where you are or what you choose for yourself. Let me see if I get anything else. You may also have to call someone out or warn other people. You know, hey, by the way, be careful with that person. I've caught them lying before. Or be careful getting to know that person. Make sure you get to know that person very well before you trust them. I've seen them do some shady things in the past. But I don't know. Let's see. Or let someone know that you will no longer tolerate being lied to. But again, think before you speak, think before you act. Meditate or ponder the situation first. Maybe even run this problem across somebody whose opinion you trust, where you can kind of get some feedback and have someone to talk to about this matter before you act, in order to figure out what is the best way of addressing the situation that does not create even more drama. Let's see, anything else about what's helping them? The Nine of Cups, your wishes will be granted, or you will be extremely happy. You will see immediate results if you start using your boundaries more at this time, instead of just walking away from it, instead of addressing it. If you do that, if you walk away without addressing a problem, it may come back to haunt you later on, or it may come back later on. It's better off to just deal with it now. And you actually may be fearing the worst if you address a situation, if you face something head on, or if you choose to handle a situation instead of just avoiding it. Avoidance isn't going to work anymore. You have to address certain things, but it's how do you address it in the proper way. If you run this across someone and you have a conversation, you try to figure out the best way to address a situation. And if you're brave and if you just face it or you just do it, it looks as though you have immediate, amazing results. And it may be that a lot of the reactions that you are fearing from other people, actually the opposite happens, where people are more receptive to what you have to say, or they don't react badly. If anything, it opens up their minds and makes them think of things in a different way. And also makes them trust you more too. The Nine of Cups. If you assert yourself, you will have very good results, as long as you do it in a gentle but firm way. May also be that for some reason you've been struggling on whether or not a Leo or a fire sign is really in this with you. And it looks like if you actually open up a conversation in a gentle, calm way and just address your fears, it looks as though actually they are there for you, or things are not as bad as you were fearing. Things may be pleasantly surprising for you. You may have been worrying about somebody's loyalty. If that's the case, it looks to me as if they're loyal. And what's helping you is just simply to trust them at face value and believe them when they say that they love you or that you can trust them. This could be deciding to walk away from a situation that you know is toxic now. And if you do so, you will have immediate good results, and you'll be bringing in more kindred spirits and people that are extremely good influences for you and good friends and good allies to have. Or if someone tells you some gossip that may or may not be true, it would do you good to open up a conversation with that person to see what they say. It may be miscommunication on the part of the person who is spreading around the gossip, and what they're saying may not actually be in reality. So if you do hear weird things that make you wonder, facing something head on and initiating a conversation with someone in a calm manner can clear up any confusion that you have. Okay. And also this could be battling over who's in charge or who's leading a project or leading something. If you've been placed in a place of authority or a high position with something where you're a leader, or you generally kind of guide how things are done, if you have had issues with someone who is quietly resentful of this or seeks to possibly be in a place of authority themselves, it doesn't look like this is going to get to you or interfere with the matter at all. So don't give it any of your energy. Just allow it to be what it is. Focus on the people that appreciate you, that honor you for what you give to a situation, and that will attract in more good people. So at your root, you have your own major arcana card, the Hermit. You may be having to look at some things that perhaps you haven't looked at. This could be looking at aspects of yourself, aspects of others, illuminating any situations that are confusing or in the dark. You may need to take some time out to take a break and to get some clarity on something while you are away from it. Somehow by being in it, it's more confusing. If you take yourself outside of it, you might be able to find more clarity that way. And to ponder things first. Think before you act. Ponder before you make decisions. Let me pull more on this. The Wheel of Fortune. You're getting clarity on what would help things to move forward. Maybe something has been slow, and you're wondering how to push along the luck a little bit, or push along the movement a little bit to see progress. It looks like if you take some time out to get clarity, it helps you a great deal, and you notice things moving forward. more quickly than before as a result of that. Or you're understanding the inner workings or the behind the scenes energy that is behind things that go on. You might be looking further into something. Yeah, you need a retreat or a break or a rest or a vacation. You need some time out in order to think about things differently or to get a different perspective on things. If you do so, your luck will increase and you'll notice movement where there wasn't movement before. And honestly, there is a fine line between having to figure things out and then having to figure things out too much. When it deals with the Wheel of Fortune, you figure out what you actually can, but don't drive yourself crazy trying to figure everything out. It may be that there are certain mysterious aspects that are positive in the situation that really aren't able to be rationally figured out. And that involves trust. It involves trusting and having faith that you don't need to figure everything out. You can trust the universe to handle it. You had the star up here earlier. If you're getting to know someone, it's okay to analyze them a little bit. It's okay to look into their personality and to get to know them, but there is a such thing as over-analyzing someone or overly picking the brain of someone else. Or it's almost like a job interview. Instead of getting to know someone, it's like you're... or this could be someone else towards you too. Sometimes things are better off if you just kind of let them be. So there's a tricky balance in here between figuring out what you can, getting clarity on a situation, possibly looking into a matter further or shedding some light on a matter in order to get clarity on it. But then there is a such thing as overly picking something apart. The more you pick something apart, the more you analyze something, it can be overkill where it makes things even more confusing. Certain things in the universe are not able to be rationally figured out. That's what makes the universe so exciting and life so exciting. So to let the things that need to be let them be, and to address the things that you need to address, but to also trust the universe in bringing you situations that where you don't need to figure it all out. You can just believe that things are going in a miraculous good direction for you and you don't need to figure it all out. It may be that if you sense somehow that someone has devious energy, I'm just going to give you a slight warning in here. I am kind of seeing something in here that you could be overly suspicious of someone simply because they're mysterious and you can't figure them out. I'm getting something in here about somebody that is very Neptunian or Piscean or very otherworldly. And sometimes when we're dealing with people that are like that, they attract other people's suspicions because they're mysterious. When something's mysterious, you can't really figure them out. There's an element to their being that is almost magical. And some people are intrigued by that, and some people trust that. And some people are unnerved by it, by the fact that they can't figure that out. And they can sometimes project that someone is lying when they're not, or project that someone has ill intentions when they don't. It's just, they're different. They're different. So don't jump to, I guess what I'm saying here is don't jump to conclusions on anything at this time in May. Allow things to be, allow things to unfold. If you're getting to know someone, get to know them and try not to be too suspicious. It may be some part of you is a little bit suspicious simply because of things you have gone through in the past. But if this is another person that you're getting to know or you're trying to figure out, I don't get that they are coming from a bad place or that they're somehow manipulative or not what they seem. I'm actually getting that they're just a very interesting, excuse me, I just burped, a very interesting, very different kind of a person, and they're not the kind of person that you can get to know overnight. They're the kind of person that it takes a great deal of time to get to know them. And if they sense that you are trying to analyze them, it may actually drive them away a little bit, where they don't feel trusted. And so that doesn't necessarily, feeling untrusted definitely does not make a person want to let themselves out for someone else to see. It makes them recoil. So if you want someone to open up to you, try not to examine them too much or in front of them. This person, if you're dealing with a person, they're incredibly psychic. They can read your mind. So even if your face is calm and you have a poker face, inside your head, if you're criticizing or analyzing everything that they say and do with kind of a slightly suspicious vibe, they will know that they can read your head, and they will know that you don't trust them, and that will not allow them to be able to open up to you. It may make them swim away. So be careful. If you must analyze, do it in your own private time. Don't do it in front of them. And this could be vice versa, you guys. It could be an opposite situation going on here, where you for once are being analyzed, which is really interesting here. Don't take it to heart. Don't take it to heart too much. Some things aren't able to be figured out rationally. But just know that things are improving, and you're on to some kind of an incredible, mysterious journey. Or you may have a spiritual experience in May where you understand things in a much deeper way than you did before, where you're understanding things emotionally and rationally. And you may actually receive some downloads this month, where you have eureka moments, or an idea, finally a breakthrough comprehension comes to you, and then you know how to help things to move forward from there, instead of feeling stuck or delayed. So, in the recent past, you have the Princess of Wands, some kind of new venture or new thing that you're learning about, a new way of expressing yourself, finding out more about your talents. You may have discovered you have a talent that you didn't realize you had, and now you're excited because you can cultivate it and you can build it up. This could be choosing to learn something new, as in taking a course or a class or going to a workshop, or this can also be spending time with beloved children in your life, whether it's your own children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, cousins, children you work with if you're a teacher. Spending more quality time with children, teaching them skills or teaching them fun things, encouraging their creativity and their self-esteem. Let's see, I'm going to pick more. You're experimenting a lot more now, or you're in some kind of an environment or a situation now that's kind of over your head, as far as it's very different from your normal experience. And so you're having to learn as you go, or experiment, or be more flexible than usual and more adaptable than usual in learning something or being part of something. The Ten of Cups. This could be finding out you're having a baby, or deciding with your partner that you want to have a baby with each other. This can be getting to know someone. And in getting to know someone, you will find your best happiness by not taking things too seriously. You will find your best happiness in accepting the experimental nature of all of this by looking at it with a child's eyes, or with an open heart, or with an experimental, let's see what happens kind of an attitude. Or this is the attitude of someone that you're dealing with, and it's very different from what you're used to. You're having to be braver, more experimental, and more adaptable than you've ever had to be before. And it's exciting. It's good for you. It's stretching you in ways that normally you're not used to. It's okay to let your guard down. It's okay to trust a situation. It's okay to not know exactly what's happening. You may decide to go someplace to go visit a child that you haven't seen in a while. But I see two people getting to know each other here. Or if you are in a long-term relationship, it looks like a new approach is needed, or more experimentation is needed in a matter in order to keep the relationship and the romance in the relationship and the trust in the relationship alive. Just because you sense silence from someone doesn't mean that they're hiding anything or lying. It just might even mean that they're just mulling something over in their own being and they're not ready yet to speak on it just yet. So don't jump to conclusions. I'm getting a big message about that for May is think before you speak, ponder before you act, get someone else's opinion or run your thoughts by someone that you trust where you can have some input. And don't jump to conclusions and don't act on conclusions that you have jumped to. This might be something completely unexpected that does not, someone might be plotting a surprise for you. And instead you're fearful that they're lying or that they're hiding when actually they can't tell you what they're thinking because it's a surprise. And so don't jump to conclusions with things. Stay optimistic. Relax. Handle situations in a gentle way. And if you need to get clarity on something, it's perfectly okay to take some time out or get clarity on something, but don't overanalyze here. So your best possible outcome is the Three of Pentacles. So I see if you're brave and if you put your talents out there, you will be recognized for your talents and abilities. And you will see an increase in opportunities, money, prosperity, doors opening up, appreciation from others. It's okay to be brave and show all of yourself. That is what's helping you this month, is to truly, genuinely be yourself and not be shy. To allow yourself to be seen. If you do so, you will have amazing results and you'll see growth happening, especially with prosperity, physical things, money, job opportunities. New adventures await you. Let me get a little bit more on that. Tell me more about the Three of Pentacles as their best possible outcome. Also, be gentle with a child. Not that you wouldn't. I mean, it's not really in your nature to be harsh on children at all, but you may be trying to discipline a situation that actually needs love for someone, or you may be criticizing someone without realizing how bad it cuts. There might be a new approach needed to a situation. Oh, look, there's the Fool. Are you the one that got the Fool earlier, or was that that was the last reading for Gemini. yeah, it's okay to take risks. It's okay to take a leap of faith. You will not fall. You will actually soar if you do so. It's okay to be brave. It's okay to leap into the unknown. It's okay to not know everything about what you are entering into. And it's okay to leap and into a relation, or not leap quickly into a relationship, but to make a leap with someone else. You will be pleasantly surprised if you do so. You will see results and synchronicities that lead you onward to the next step of the journey. It looks like you're willing to be brave here, and you're willing to try things you've never tried before. If you do that, you will be incredibly encouraged and receive encouraging signs from doing so. If you are getting to know someone, it's okay for the two of you to leap into the unknown together. This is someone you can feel safe with. This is someone who appreciates your gifts. This is someone who will not turn you away or make you feel strange, and the other way around. You're overcoming stage fright, or you're overcoming a certain amount of shyness when it comes to showing what you're capable of. It's okay to toot your own horn at this time. It's okay to advertise. It's okay to show what you've got. You may be deciding to go into a way of making money that is very different from what you did before, that takes a certain amount of bravery. Whether it's performing on stage, or you're in the public eye here, or you're being seen by others. As unnerving as it is, it's important for you to throw yourself out there. You will have amazing results if you do so, or if you reach out. Okay, coming up for you is the King of Wands. Yes, you look very self-assured. If you're dealing with a Leo or a fire sign, this looks like a really good person for you. Both of these are Leo cards, and this is what was helping you. If you have a fire sign or a Leo that you are getting to know, or that's around you, they're a very good ally for you, and they can help you in a lot of ways. If for some reason, let's do an analogy. If for some reason you've been an accountant for a decade and you're deciding to do something completely different, as in you're deciding to be a circus performer, or you're deciding to be a public musician, or you're deciding to do something that is completely out of your element or completely different from what you are used to or what you did before. It looks as though you have an authority figure or somebody around you who is very strong and is very familiar with that realm, is very familiar with performance, or very familiar with being out in the spotlight. They are a great coach for you. They're a great support network for you. They are very encouraging of your talents. They also can give you tips on how to overcome stage fright, or how to best. I mean, obviously, the King of Wands went through all that when he was much younger, when he was starting out. He had to learn all of those lessons. So he's a very good source to go to when you need advice. What do you recommend for me to help myself get out of stage fright? Or what do you recommend for me? And you might be completely surprised by what they say. It might be something totally different from what you think. But it looks like you have a really strong person around you that is very encouraging. And this can also be an aspect of yourself. This could be you becoming the King of Wands and becoming very sure of yourself, very extroverted, very creative, very leadership oriented, where you get to stand in your power and be looked up to by others for your talents and your abilities and your organizational skills. Maybe you're organizing something in the future that is very different from anything that you've organized before. This could also be a person that you have very passionate feelings for and that you're getting to know. Let's see. Don't be afraid to speak your mind or to show who you are to other people. Let's see, anything else about the King of Wands in the future for Virgos? The Six of Wands, you will be successful, and you also have a lot of strength. You also have a lot of protection and backup and encouragement. You will be successful at what you set out to do. You will be successful with your goals. Just stay strong, stay calm, and keep on doing what you're doing. Rely on your own abilities. Rely on your own strength. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself or to show who you are to other people or to situations. You may get to show a hidden nature of your own strength in being able to handle a situation or be a leader in a situation which is a much needed perspective or a way of doing things that perhaps wouldn't have been found without you being involved. Whatever it is that you care so much about, that you've been developing, it looks like you will be successful with it. And if you are new to being a leader and you are in a position of leadership at this time, which is kind of outside of your comfort zone, you actually are very well respected, and you don't necessarily have to worry about people not following you or your instructions or not taking you seriously. It seems like you have a great deal of other people's respect. And being a leader does not have to mean anything to do with being bossy, being demanding, being super loud, or being too assertive with others. It's oftentimes just being firm but gentle and knowing what you're doing. People pick up on that confidence and they just instantly respect it. And they can tell that your heart is in the right place and you are not the type of person to outstage anyone or make anyone feel lower in order to raise yourself up. We're talking about healthy Leo energy here, which is a gentle, humorous, kind, good-hearted leader that other people naturally look up to and naturally follow. It is never about force. That's a great way to make people not trust you and a great way to have people be resentful of you. And also realize that other people have leadership abilities too. So if you kind of are more in the realm of like needing to figure out needing to organize something very meticulously, and it could be perceived by others that you don't trust them to be able to carry something through. I'm almost getting something in here about over instruction, like giving people unnecessary, tiny, minuscule little methods on how they just let them do things their way as long as they get the job done. There are many different ways of doing something. Try not to, I'm getting something in here about nitpicking a little bit or being a little too critical. Let people prove to you over time what they're capable of. Don't be suspicious of their abilities before they've even had a chance to show you what they're capable of. So don't over control or over instruct. Like, let me give you an example. I used to work in a kitchen as one of my jobs, and our boss would sometimes over instruct. We would be busy learning things at our own pace or figuring out how to do it. And he would over-instruct. He would say, you have to do it in this particular way, in this particular timing, and with this particular tool, and you have to do it this way, and you have to do it that way. But he would do it while we were trying to do it, while customers were waiting. And it's like, there is a such thing as being overly instructed, where you're like, hold on a second, back off and just watch me do it. you know, and there are other ways of doing things where if you do something subtly different from someone else in how they do it, there are many different ways of doing something where the end result is the same. So that's just a minor warning in here, or that could be you having to deal with someone over instructing you, where you have to kind of use your boundaries and say, look, you know, let me learn it. Let me experiment with it. I might have a slightly different way of doing this than you. Your way is not the only way. Give me a chance to prove myself, or back off and let me figure it out. Which is good. You'll have good results if you do that. If you stand up for yourself, or if you are being a leader for others, there's a balance here that is necessary. So right now, looks like you have begun something that is becoming solid now, whether this is a relationship, a job, a career, a place of residence, a location, a family situation. This could be getting married. This could be committing to a person, deciding to be a couple now. This is the very beginning stages of stability, where you realize something is stable enough now where it's not going to go anywhere. And you can continue to create it over time, but it's going to stay. You can count on something to be stable. You have grounded out something or manifested something that you can continue to manifest over time, but the basic essence of it is there now. Looks good. In your surroundings, yeah, the Four of Pentacles. You may be holding on to something in your surroundings, or you may be clutching somehow, or you feel bound by your surroundings, or you feel like you're not able to have the freedom that you need to go after what excites you or makes you happy. You may just simply be experiencing cabin fever, where you're feeling overly isolated or overly stuck where you are, and you need to possibly go on some kind of a trip, or go someplace beautiful that is different from what you're used to, so you can see a different perspective or receive inspiration. There might be something in your surroundings that feels stuck. Let's see. Tell me more about the Four of Pentacles in your surroundings. Are you having to be careful with money, or careful about how you are managing money, or investing money into something? But be careful of clutching too much or becoming too rigid. Let's see. The Five of Cups. Something was disappointing. Something was sad. You felt left out with something, or you had some kind of an experience that was very upsetting, and that may have made you go into overly hermit mode. It may have made you hold back from opening up to others because you experienced some kind of loss when you did in the past. And so it's hard for you to open up at this time. Or you may have had something go on in your surroundings where you're realizing you need different friends, or you need different people in your life than the people you've been dealing with. And instead of going out there and meeting new people or experimenting with a completely different experience, instead you've been possibly nursing wounds or licking wounds and keeping to yourself instead of sharing what you're going through with others. Or you may not want to bother anybody, or you may not want to be a Debbie Downer or whatever they call it, where you bum people out. But actually, you'd be surprised. You have a lot of people in your surroundings that would be there for you if you would just open up on what you're dealing with instead of keeping it to yourself. Let's see. Give me more information about this. Or you have experienced difficult relationships or situations in the past that have made you reluctant to trust again, or reluctant to open up to people again. Or you have been being very self-protective because you're afraid or you're worried about danger if you do not protect yourself, possibly because you've encountered danger in the past. You have the Tower. Notice the scary howling winds outside. Then there's overexposure, or not having support when you needed it, and when you were in a vulnerable spot, feeling disappointed like people weren't there for you when you needed it. Other people may have been, you may have experienced something where you were taken advantage of, and then when you needed support, you didn't have it. This has made you reluctant to open up or even to leave the house. This could even be fears about COVID too, of exposure to COVID if you leave the house. Let me see if I can pull a remedy. Come here, even here, let's slide you over a little bit, see if that works. Let's see, any remedies for them concerning this? You're afraid of conflict, or you need to confront something instead of hiding. Feel like you haven't been addressing something that you need to address, and instead you've been avoiding it, but you can't avoid it for forever. It seems like no matter what, it comes back in one form or another, so you might as well just face whatever it is, or address whatever it is, so that you can move on, and where this is no longer holding you back. You may have to have a difficult conversation with someone that you've been avoiding because you don't want fighting or drama, or you just don't. But it seems as though what I was saying earlier is if you do address it in the right way, with gentleness, you might be extremely surprised at how they react. It may not be anything like what you're fearing. Things may not be as dangerous as you think. Or you just need to get out. Or you've been indoors with some kind of a difficult experience. I don't know if you have roommates or family members that you live with. There's possibly been a lot of action and a lot of drama and a lot of things going on, a lot of bickering, a lot of getting on each other's nerves. You might just need to take a break for a little bit and get outside, go for a walk or something, or sage your house out or your apartment out, or open up the lines of communication, or go on vacation if you can, or go someplace different where you can have some peace and quiet. This is making your nerves clench up. You might, pardon me for being blunt, but you might, if this is true, if this is resonating for you, if you have been experiencing constipation, or its opposite, diarrhea, or if you have been grinding your teeth when you sleep at night, or you look down at your hands and they're clenched up and you didn't even realize it. You are internalizing stress that you may not be addressing with your mind. You may not even be aware that you are stressed out. You may have been holding something in so tightly that you don't even realize that you're stressed. But it's affecting your health, or it's affecting how you live your life, where you need to unclench, you need to relax, you need to breathe. You may want to get some kind of a treatment done, like massage, Reiki, acupuncture, a change in something. You need a change in your immediate environment, because it looks like if you keep up with the way that things are affecting you now, it could possibly get worse. So if you want to get better, if you want to, you need to unclench or surround yourself with something completely different. Or lay down your boundaries about something. Let's see. Okay. Your stress is affecting you. You might be internalizing stress where you don't even realize you're stressed. But it's coming out in physical ways. So your hope is success. And I believe you had the Six of Wands earlier, which was success. So it looks like you will receive what you hope. And you will be successful with whatever it is that you're trying to do. And your general outcome is the Two of Wands. So this is a nice little resting period in between action steps where you're thinking about what your next move will be. And it's okay to take it easy during this time and really think about how you're going to do this. And it's okay to be brave and to go towards the new. You can take your time pondering it, processing it, and looking over your options, but eventually you are going to have to make some kind of a move or act at some point, but don't feel rushed. And it looks like something may be headed your way, actually. You might have some kind of opportunity headed your way, and so it's a great time to have some R&R right now until it arrives. And then you'll know what your next step will be. So hopefully that helped or made sense in some way for you or resonated for someone. And I really hope it made sense. Okay, so I wish you all the best, and I'll see you guys soon. Okay, bye.